Yo, what's up? It's your boy Currency 365. Hope you guys are doing well. Legends never die, they stay in our hearts. If you want to support us, click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also you can come down here and hit the join button under the video or in our channel section. And you can also join our Patreon, patreon.com/currency365. And we also have Cash App and also PayPal for supports if you want to sow some seeds. Peace out. God bless. Enjoy the video and keep the movement going. Legends. Bye. All right. Welcome back to Currency 365. Hope you guys are doing well. All right. So, hey, look, it's Crypto T down there. You didn't notice the Crypto's T on there. All right, cool. I'm not even, what am I? I'm not following her. So how in the world is she showing up in my news feed? I don't get it. Anyways, it is what it is. Oh, maybe she's commenting underneath Watch a Guru. Okay, never mind. All right. Uh, let's see what's going on here, folks. We got current economies in recession. Okay, so this is um getting out of hand because now we have England, um, actually United Kingdom, which is of course the same thing. I guess England, United Kingdom. I guess is you can just say it's the same thing, right? So you got United Kingdom declaring recession here, right? And so um, yeah, they're hitting a recession. So then the stages are now. Of course, America's we're in a depression, but of course we masqueraded like the Mardi Gras and down in New Orleans where the Super Bowl is going to be in New Orleans. I need to do a video on that. I told you guys I was going to do a logo video on that. Maybe I'll do that either today or tomorrow. I'm probably going to do it tomorrow. I'm probably going to do tomorrow, um, but either way, we're masquerading our economy because we're propping up our stock market, right? Any way we can do, and we're wish-washing trades and liquidity, right? To make it look like we have money, look like our markets are liquid when they're really not. We're doing a whole bunch of stuff with all the tools from the Federal Reserve to make it look like we have a strong economy when we actually were in a depression right now if we actually pulled the rug, right? And the reason why we can do this is because we have the world reserve currency. If we didn't have the world reserve currency, we would be under recessions. Actually, we'd be in a depression and a nightmare situation right now in America, and our currency would be devaluing like epic proportions right now. But that's not going on right now because we have the world reserve currency and we have a big, mighty military that can go around and tell people, don't you even dare, you know? Um, so that's what's going on right now. How long is that going to last? Not for very much longer, right? So that's going to wear off at some point, and people are just going to be numb to that and say no more America. No, and you can argue it's already happening around the world now. If you just watch all the stuff around the world, what people are saying on social media and all the governments and countries' actions, it's not it's not it's not orange and blue skies for America in the future here. People are saying no more America. We're sick of America, right? So they're going to break free from America, right? A lot of these countries are about to break free from America. Okay, so you got Peru that is now in recession. You have Japan that's now in recession. They made that announcement I think last week. Or was it this week? I don't know. It was either this week or last week they made that announcement as well. I think they made it right after the United Kingdom made theirs, or it was one of the two together. I'm not sure, but either way, Ireland is now in recession. Okay, I've been to Ireland, walked the grounds of Ireland, partied in Ireland a long time ago. You know what I mean? Um, so that's pretty sad. I saw one of the most beautiful girl in the world in Ireland was there. But she wasn't Ireland. She was Slovakian, I think she was. Um, okay, anyways, that's too much information. Estonia, okay. Finland. is also in recession. Moldova, okay. Moldova is in recession as well. Denmark is in recession. Okay. Luxembourg. I thought Luxembourg was in England. you know, I guess Luxembourg is his own country. I didn't know that. When I saw Luxembourg, I said, "Isn't that in England? Isn't that in the UK? Isn't that one of the? Isn't that part of the UK? Luxembourg? Uh, I guess it's his own. I guess it's his own country. Okay, yeah, okay. And then you got the United Kingdom there. Okay, so that's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, 9 countries that are now have announced recession just in the past few weeks or past few months. So more to come, right? Global recession's coming. It's gonna hit the world like a ton of bricks. We know that. They're killing this current system is dying. They're gonna kill this current system and bring in the new digital age system. And the banks are gonna shut down for a couple of days. The ATM machines, everything's gonna shut down for a couple of days and then they're gonna introduce the new system to everybody, and people are gonna be like, "What the freak just happened?" You know what I mean? So, um, most people believe that's going to be next year, right? Not this year, because this year is an election year, so they want things to stay as normal as possible. Okay. A lot of you guys are having dreams about next year being the year that the new system comes in. The old system crashes at the peak of the bull cycle. The old system will then start to crash, and then the new system, which is the new digital system, will come in. Okay. That doesn't mean that just because the new digital system comes in doesn't mean they're going to be issuing the Fed digital coin or the Fed now coin or the digital coin, right? That might not happen until 2030, right? So that could be delayed and delayed and delayed. Now, of course, it's not going to happen under Trump because he said he's not going to issue a digital currency, a digital dollar, right? Okay, so if it's the Fed now or whatever coin it's going to be, that's going to be the digital dollar. Donald Trump said he's not going to issue that under his presidency. So if we do have Trump for 4 years, that we do get in there, we basically have 4 years of grace for that digital coin to come out, and the next person will most likely issue that digital coin by force. You know what I mean? If Donald Trump doesn't do it, right? So, and you never know. Donald Trump says he's not going to issue the digital dollar, to track everybody and everything and make people's life a complete living nightmare, right? Because that's what it's going to do. It's going to make your life a nightmare. You're going to be tracked everywhere you go. But people are saying, well, you can do that now. Your debit cards track everything you do. So what's the point? What's the difference, right? So that is a good idea. I mean, that is true. You know what I mean? Your debit cards. I mean, you swipe your debit cards anywhere in the world, they know where you are, right? So what's the difference? So that's already digital, right? So, yeah. So I don't know. I guess this one's it's gonna be digital. I guess it's gonna be digital on the blockchain and stuff. So, I don't know. I don't know what the difference is on that, but people don't want to be tracked in a specific way. I guess I don't know. Um, or how about this? People want the option of not being tracked because you can still use dollars, right? In most places, except for Whole Foods, right? Whole Foods won't let you use dollars at all, right? But most places you can use dollars still, right? And so there's this option to use dollars to not be tracked, right? And some people say, well, you can still be tracked using dollars. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. I don't know. But it's definitely a lot harder, but to be tracked using dollars, unless there's cameras up. You know what I mean? And then you're putting cash in, and there's cameras looking at you. You're still being tracked that way. But either way, it is what it is. Uh, the more countries are what we're trying to say is more countries are coming, more recessions coming to many places around the world. Get ready for this roller coaster ride. It's going to be an incredible journey until they crash the system. It's going to be interesting to see how they do it, and I'm pretty sure all that stuff has been worked out. in the past on how they're going to crash the system and bring in a new system. But of course, they have to actually execute it, and that's the hard part, right? Because there's a lot of people in the elites that don't want to let go of the old system because they've had a great time. They became billionaires in it, multimillionaires and billionaires, 100 millionaires, and they love this old system because they just get to be corrupt, a little corrupt little people, and they get to fly around in their jets and just and to watch the world starve to death and depopulate the world and be a little, be evil, right? And they get to use it, and they get to use the U.S. dollar to do all their crimes in, right? And so that's going to go away, and then this new digital system is going to come in, and it's going to be able to track everybody, and everybody's going to be basically, rabbits and ants and or whatever, mice, like a rat experiments, right? We're going to be treated as rat experiments for those people who want to be part of the beast system, right? So, and and so it's kind of hard for them to let go of the old system, and that we get it, right? So this old system has been really good to the corrupt, not really good to people, hardworking Americans, but it's been really good. It used to be good to hardworking Americans because back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, you just need one income. You can go right out of high school and get a great job and make money and get a house and have babies and have a wife and kids and you were good. And then all of a sudden that wasn't the case anymore, right? After the late 70s, everything started to change and they brought the drugs into the cities and then the drug epidemic happened and then Biden's crime bill happened and then the gangster raps and the gangster violence happened in the 90s and everything, and then greed happened in the 2000s, and everything's gone, and then the dollar inflated as they print, right? Obama printed more money than all presidents combined in his time in office in 8 years, right? That was crazy, right? And I think Donald Trump doubled his, like, I mean, they just printing at unimaginable levels, right? And um and so it's been kind of interesting, right? Because Biden hasn't really been, well, Biden has printed because even though they're not printing to, like, they're not saying they're printing, they're still printing. You know what I mean? Because who's paying for the war that we're doing right now? Who's paying for all these things that we're doing in America? And who's paying for Ukraine? Who's paying for that's the Federal Reserve. So even though the Federal Reserve isn't doing quantitative easing, they're still printing unlimited amount of money right now, right? And they're still propping up the markets, even though they don't call it quantitative easing right now. They're funding the wars. And interesting that they can fund all these things, but they can't for some reason fund the government. The government can never be funded. It's always, oh, the government's about to shut down again, and then but yet they can send 400 billion over here to Ukraine, 400 billion to Israel, 400 over here, 400 over there, right? But then when it comes to the government, it's like, we don't have any money. The government's about to shut down. What are we going to do? What do you mean what you're going to do? The feds are printing unlimited amount of money. What do you mean, right? So and then it's crazy because then they go and say, um, we need to help this country out because nobody else is helping out. It's like, don't these other countries have central banks who can print unlimited amount of money as well? Why is America paying all the bills for the world and NATO when all the NATO countries have central banks that can print unlimited amount of money? You get what I'm talking about, guys and girls? This is on purpose. They're trying. These people are trying to bankrupt America. I mean, it's clear as day, right? So they want America to do everything and print everything and pay for everything, and then America picks and chooses what they pay for and what they can't, what they think they can't, what they pretend to not be able to pay for. We can't balance our budget. We can't pay for the government. You just sent $80 billion into Iraq or into the Middle East. What are you talking about, right? It's like, it doesn't make no sense, right? And then you see that, okay, we sent 400 billion, 800 billion to whatever it is, to Ukraine, but homelessness is up 13% or 10% year to year, and we got homeless crisis everywhere. You telling us that you can't print 400 billion and put everybody in shelters and homes and make sure there's no veterans that are homeless and there's no, they can't do that. They can't do that because the Federal Reserve is not supposed to do. That's not their assignment. Their assignment is to print money to make sure your life is a living nightmare. And that's what they've been designed to do since creation, right? So they got money for wars, but they can't feed the poor. Tupac told you that, right? So, and that's exactly what they're designed to do. So, what the godly people can do, because that's what the enemies do, right? They feed all their agendas. They can fund all their satanic agendas and all of the wars, and they can fund everything that's going to keep you a prisoner in your own home and an experiment, right? And a controlled rat, you know. Um, but so what we need to do is we need to counter that. Where's the godly people with their own Federal Reserve? With the godly reserve, we can call it kingdom reserves, right? Where the kingdom people come in together and we fund the reserves, and then we use that money to feed the homeless, shelter the homeless, and do what's right for the world while the Federal Reserve is doing what's wrong for the world. Are supposed to have a reserve bank that does right and doing right for the world. Unfortunately, the churches have been taken over, and so the churches are more corrupt than the Federal Reserve now. you know, so so let's think about doing something like that, guys and girls. Once God releases the second round of wealth transfer, which it looks like he's doing now, because Bitcoin is starting to move and things are starting to move in cryptos, and we want to see him release some of the stuff for the reset currencies as well. But once we get the full wealth transfer done, some we gotta get this kingdom stuff going, and maybe get a nice little kingdom reserve and be able to use that to help the world out, right? So and help people and do things in a good way. The Federal Reserve want to keep printing and devaluing the dollar and cause hyperinflation and inflation and wipe out the middle class, which that's their agenda, right? To have only two sectors, the really rich and the poor. Then we need to be the other. We need to come in at the other as the other entity and come in and actually, help the people out, help the middle class out, help small businesses out, pay all people's mortgages and stuff like that, and make sure people are able to sustain themselves. All right, so that's what I'm going to say on this video. Peace out, God bless. We're going to see a lot more countries go into recession here as they destroy the current financial system, and then they're going to introduce the new digital system most likely in 2025 at the peak of the bull cycle in the crypto markets. Also, I told you guys the Dow's going to 50,000 plus. I told you guys that 3 years, I think 2, 3 years ago. I said Dow Jones 50,000. That's coming, right? And so we're heading towards that. We're heading towards that, and we're probably going to get there maybe next year, or maybe this year. It could be this year, or it could be the peak of next year. We're going to be at 50, 55, 60,000 Dow, something like that. I don't know how high it's going to go, but it's going to go crazy. I think we're going to see 50,000 now either this year or next year, and we're gonna peak out the bull cycle for crypto bull cycle, and then everything's gonna crash, and then they're gonna bring in a new system. Okay, peace out. It's a lot to take in. I get it, and it's a lot of information. So that's why we're on Patreon, right? So we can't really talk about this stuff on here. I try to do it once a month. So you're not going to see another video like this for another month, because YouTube does not like these types of videos on here. So that's why I'm on Patreon. You guys got to be on Patreon to get this type of information, right? So anyways, peace out. God bless. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Let's see what country's next to be on the list of recession, man. Pray for these countries as well, man. Let's pray for these countries, man. Matter of fact, let's do a prayer video. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back, and our prayer video today will be for these countries that are entering recession, because when people enter recession, a lot of people really suffer. You saw what happened when we enter recession. A lot of people were suffering, man. So let's pray for these countries. In the next video, we're gonna pray for I'm gonna keep this here. And we're gonna go to the next video, which is a prayer video, and we're gonna pray for these countries and the other countries that are about to announce recession, and that God takes care of the people in those countries while they're under recession. And some of them might even go into depression. So we got to definitely pray for the people. All right. Peace out. God bless. Bye.